Do you find that things that people are saying around you are constantly getting under your skin and rubbing you the wrong way? Well, stick with me, because in this week's episode, I want to show you why and how we can remove that roadblock. Hi, this is Grant Herbert, Emotional Intelligence Speaker and Trainer of the Year and Master Coach Trainer. And today I want to continue our conversation around this month's topic of interpersonal effectiveness by helping you to understand that it's all right for everyone to have an opinion. Last week we talked about the things that are big roadblocks towards having interpersonal effectiveness. Being able to get on with others and play well. They were confusion and conflict and control. And we talked about the fact that we can overcome those roadblocks by having clarity, finding out who you really are and getting rid of all that misunderstanding. With collaboration, working together instead of working against each other. And by having great communication. So what I want to do this week is broach a topic which I'm seeing so much more around the world right now that is a major barrier to having great relationships with others. And that is having an opinion that you state as facts. You've all seen it, whether it's on social media, whether it's working with people face to face. People have different ideas to you, and that's okay. You see, it's not the idea that's the problem, it's what you make it mean when someone has an opinion that's different to you. I know for many years that was a big issue for me. And I want to unpack some of the reasons why this happens for all of us. The first thing is that when we feel uncertain about who we are, and someone disagrees or has an opinion that's different to yours, there's a tendency for you to think that it's about you and not about the situation. When we are deep involved in the emotion of something, rather than getting up in the prefrontal cortex and looking at it from a logical perspective, this can happen automatically. So if someone's got an opinion that's different to me and I make that mean that they don't agree with what I'm saying, therefore they don't agree with me, then that's where the problem comes in. So the first thing that we want to do is be able to look inwardly, to be able to go, okay, why does this bother me? Why is it that that person having a different opinion to me is actually giving me this overwhelm, this stress, this feeling that I'm going through right now? When we seek that clarity, when we go inward and we have a look at why, and then we even chunk that down to get the real reason why, a lot of times we will come up with one of those three universal fears. You fear that you don't belong, that you're not good enough and you're not liked or loved. And we know that when those fears are triggered, our behavior changes. And our behavior goes towards, so we think, being able to eliminate those fears. What invariably happens, though, is our behavior actually pushes people away. It actually brings to bear the things that we feared the most. So by looking inward and going, why does this bother me? And then rationally and logically looking at the fact that there's no truth in that, then we can move forward to step two. The second part of this is looking outwardly. And to do this, we need to firstly have a belief that everyone's allowed to have an opinion, and it doesn't have to be the same as everyone else. So we've looked inwardly, but now we're looking at others and going, hey, it's okay for them to have an opinion. And when we form that baseline belief, when opinions come up that aren't the same, it doesn't rub against the grain. You see, when someone has an opinion different to you, it doesn't mean that they don't agree with you. It simply means that that is the lens that they're looking at it through. That's their current understanding. I've said this many times before. Just because you have an opinion different to mine doesn't make me wrong. And when we are okay with that, when we reconcile that and truly believe that, then someone else having an opinion doesn't create that challenge. It doesn't create that spiraling down of emotion and that change of behavior. So we've looked inwardly, we've looked outwardly at others, we've exercised empathy, which says, I really do want to understand and see it the way you're seeing it. Then we can collaborate. Then we can look for commonality in the things that we do believe, and we can move forward on that. You see, there's several ways that we can reach the same destination. When we find a destination that we both want to get to, then the relationship can work and all that conflict can be removed. We also agreed last week that healthy conflict is actually good for building relationships because it allows for misunderstandings to be explained. It allows for more conversation. So when we are able to let others have an opinion and actively listen and reflectively listen to what they're saying and understand, looking through their lens, not through your own, when conflicts come up, we can discuss them. We can pull them apart. And we can then seek to understand why it is that the other person is seeing things the way that they see them. Interpersonal relationships are vitally important. We're going to be working with people all our lives. So, just like everything else, it's not a perfection game. It's not about getting it right. It's about incrementally increasing your ability to be able to get on well with others. So, this particular area is one that we're seeing so much of around the world right now. And the reason for that is there is a lot of confusion. There's a lot of uncertainty going on in our world right now. People are seeking answers. They want to know, they want to get that certainty again. So that's why sometimes people will agree with you and sometimes they won't. But either way, it's okay. It's about leaving space for everybody to have their own opinion and to be in a position where we state our opinions as opinions, not as facts. Well, that's it from me for another week. Join me again next week as we continue this conversation around interpersonal effectiveness by taking a look at the attributes of interpersonal relationships. I'll see you then.